So we have a couple of really big political figures in the media who constantly are just trying to kill us. And it seems like that is never acknowledged, except for maybe by themselves. And so I'm going to play for you two clips.
Okay.
The first clip is Jesse Waters reacting to the Charlie Kirk assassination.
He's one of my favorite dummies. He really is.
Yeah, he makes me so much more viscerally angry than Tucker Carlson ever had. Like, just, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the little gleam in his eyes. Tucker, like, I feel like Tucker's like, when I see Tucker, I see like a less than a person. But when I see Waters, I see a demon looking back at him.
Mm-hmm.
College campuses, he's not provoking anybody. He's like Socrates. He asks questions, and he does it with a smile. And there's nothing controversial about saying socialism is worse than capitalism. Men and women are different. Let's put America first, because that's all he was about, putting America first. And as Greg said, this hits differently because Charlie was one of us. And Trump gets hit in the ear. Charlie gets shot dead. They came after Kavanaugh with a rifle to his neighborhood. They went after Musk's cars. They just shot 2 Jews outside the embassy. Think about it. Scalise got shot, barely survived. It's happening. You got trans shooters. You got riots in L.A. They are at war with us. Whether we want to accept it or not, they are at war with us. And what are we going to do about it? How much political violence are we going to tolerate? And that's the question we're just going to have to ask ourselves. Now, Charlie would want us to put as much pressure on these people as possible. Dana nailed it. This is unacceptable and has to stop. And it has to stop now. And everybody's accountable. And we're watching what they're saying on television and who's saying what. The politicians, and the media, and all of these rats out there. This can never happen again. It ends now. Greg's right again. This is a turning point, and we know which direction we're going.
Pressure. I love that part.
Yeah,
Pressure.
So basically what he says right there is that every single political assassination that's happened against the right in the past, like, fucking 5 years is all the left, in that they are already waging war on us. So Jesse Waters' perspective is that we are already in a civil war. Now, I wanted to make this a balanced segment. So we got the perspective of someone who's on the other side of the right on this one, Tucker Carlson. So let's see what his perspective on whether or not we're in a civil war is.
Well, not to be depressing, but here's the truth and something you should keep in mind over the next few years. The United States, 2 things to keep in mind. The United States is moving, not inexorably, but still moving toward civil war, number 1. And number 2, civil wars are the very worst kind of wars, worse than any kind of war fought against a foreign adversary. So to number 1, why is America moving towards civil war? For the same reason all countries that wind up in civil war get there, because the differences between their population, between people within their borders, becomes too great to bear. People decide, I have nothing in common with the people who live near me, and I don't want to live near them anymore. In other words, diversity, difference, is actually intolerable to most people. Not necessarily racial diversity, though sometimes that too, but diversity of all kinds. It is not our strength. In fact, it is, without question, our weakness, and it has always been. If you have nothing in common with your wife, do you have a stronger marriage? No, of course your marriage falls apart. And the same is true for countries. And the truth about the United States is that on every level, beginning with a demographic level, the American population has less in common with itself, with one another, than ever before.
So Tucker's
Diversity.
perspective is that we are not necessarily on course for that war completely. There's time to turn back, and the way to turn back would be convert the entire nation to Christians.
force everyone to believe and accept him and his way of thinking, yes, then there wouldn't be a civil war. I agree.
It seems like the media perspective on a civil war is basically either we're going to have a civil war or we should punish everybody into following a very uniform set of beliefs so we don't have to have a civil war.
Right. There's no civil war if we killed all the people who disagree with us.
Or force them to convert and also be white.
At gunpoint, yeah.
So we have Jesse Waters' perspective. We have Tucker Carlson's perspective. I personally feel like we are not in a civil war, but we are in a position where the right is, they're telling us either we will dominate the culture and we will make sure white men are at the top of the ladder forever, or we will have a civil war against you.
Burn it all down.
And so
knock everything over.
Where we at. They need to be absolutely suppressed, and everybody who breaks laws in this administration needs to go to prison. Not sure if that's going to happen, but that's what needs to happen in order to stop this. Now, what is Waldo's perspective on Civil War II?
Right now, we are in authoritarian foreplay. That's where we are today, October 11th of 2025. The actual authoritarian takeover happens in 2026 with the midterms. That is where the actual civil war starts. Because I've looked at some stuff that J.B. Pritzker said recently, and he's finally the first person in the Dems to say the thing that I said 6-7 years ago, that Donald Trump will send troops to the polling places. And he's going to do that. In the 2026 midterm, there will be troops outside those polling places. There will be ICE agents harassing, hassling, and checking the papers of the people standing in line. And we, especially in the poor parts of the country, you stand in line for 8 hours because we want the poor people in the blue areas to stand in line for 8 hours, because then they might get out of line and not vote. The conservatives have wrecked our entire voting apparatus intentionally, willingly, because they hate voting. They hate the people who do it. They don't want anybody to do it again. And all confidence in the voting system. And I haven't spoken to a single conservative over the past 6-7 years who trusts the voting results. They don't trust it anymore. And what's going to happen? J.B. Pritzker has minorly predicted the thing that I predicted 6 or 7 years ago. But what he has said recently, if you can look it up if you want and put it in there, but that there are going to be troops there. And I'm predicting also, I'm not crazy, I'm just ahead of the curve, is the way I like to see it. And he's backing me up there. But there will be troops outside there. There will be people who are terrified and scared, so they will not go to vote. The attack on mail-in voting, Trump's been doing that the entire time. I voted by mail, live on stream, and it was a good time. And I voted for Vermin Supreme, like everybody should. Just kidding.
Then for Kamala, and it didn't matter. I shouldn't have.
Well, yeah, I know she's lame, and but she's slightly better than the alternative.
I was not regretting the vote. I just wish I wish, since it didn't matter, I voted for Vermin Supreme instead.
Yeah, it would have been fun. So there will be ICE at polling places, hassling anybody with a tan, demanding their papers, demanding them prove they're citizens, and if any one of them, no matter how much of a actual, literal, 100% citizen they are, go so much as talking back or giving them the finger, they will be met with violence. ICE will violently attack them. ICE will hurt them intentionally, willingly, to knock them out of line. And that's going to be ICE agents from the federal. It's going to be National Guardsmen from Texas in Illinois. That's why I think we're in a civil war starting now. There are Texas troops in Illinois. Illinois does not want them there. They do not ask for them. They would like them to leave. That's some civil war shit. Sending one state's troops to another state is some civil war shit.
If you qualify it with military conflict, we're already there, yeah.
Yeah. And so because during this midterms, ICE is going to show up, ICE is going to hassle some people, and if everything goes according to the Stephen Miller's plan, the local police will try to stop ICE, and the two will crash. The ICE will say, I demand this, and then the local police will try to defend the people that are trying to vote, and they will pepper spray each other. They'll pepper gas each other. They'll throw tear gas out at each other. And are you supposed to stand in line for 8 hours amidst the tear gas, amidst the violence, amidst the rubber bullets flying? No, they won't. The people will flee. The people will scatter, and they will lose their right to vote.
Yeah.
And in doing that, anybody with a brain will call this election interference. CNN will talk about the election interference, and that's part of the problem. Now, Donald Trump and Stephen Miller will have to do something really quickly to address the election interference, and they will go in there and they will take the ballots, they will take the voting machines, they will confiscate the actual literal votes and take them to a safe place at the White House where they can be measured, where they can be counted, and then they can tell you who won the elections. And at that point, the Civil War starts. Yeah. I think it does. And I wish this weren't true. I wish that this doesn't happen. I hope it doesn't, but I think it will.
Yeah. And I do think there is so much less willingness to oppose Trump this time around. Just people are tired. People think it's pointless. And a lot of conservatives, they recognize that this is the future for the party. And that the right wing wasn't going to maintain popularity without going to this fascist angle and attacking and suppressing the other side, because there's no way for them to win through popular demand.
That is the end point of Republican policies. It really is.
Yeah. When we have these types of media figures talking about civil war, do you think they're instigating it? Do you think they're intentionally trying to put that in people's heads, like Alex Jones will do? He'll throw out a conspiracy, and then people will latch onto that. Then he might leave it behind, but now it's in people's heads.
Yeah, I think he's just a grifter. And that's the problem. Most people are grifters now. We live in a grift economy. The entire economy is just scams on top of scams on top of scams on top of scams on top of compound interest. That is the American economy now. The people who are trying to tell you what to think about things, and even the best of Republican right-wing think tanks are telling you how to think and how to say how to say the words so that you can put out the right message. Yeah, the message discipline. Yeah. So I lost it. Where was I going with that? What was your question again?
Do you think that they're
in on it? Are they instigating it? Unintentionally, they're instigating it because they all want to make money. CNN doesn't exist to inform you. They exist to make money from big pharma commercials and soda ads. That's why they exist. MSNBC also exists to make money. It's just that they flavor their coverage of the news slightly further to the left to get in that left-leaning audience. They are not there to inform you. The newspapers are not there to inform you. They are there to sell ads. They don't give a damn if what they're saying is true. They don't give a damn about reality as long as they're getting paid. And I think the DNC is exactly the same. As long as they're getting paid, they don't care what happens. And somebody like Chuck Schumer works for Big Pharma. He works for the AI stuff is bigger than Big Pharma these days, but the AI stuff is more in line with the Republicans these days. The tech places have shifted to the right. In San Francisco, in Seattle, in the tech hubs, a lot of tech places went to Texas, and obviously Elon is a far right Nazi, and I'll say it until they hang me from the gallows. Elon Musk is a Nazi.
He's so much of an obvious Nazi, even compared to
clearly
compatriots.
Right, exactly. It's blatant and it's obvious, and I'm still allowed to say that until Donnie takes that right away from me too.
It's just freedom of speech for that one thing.
Just that one thing. You're not allowed to use the N-word. There's a new N-word. But yeah, are they on board for it? Personally, no. But even they feel like they're trapped in a machine. All of us are trapped in a capitalist hellscape. That if you say the wrong thing, if you do the wrong thing, you lose your job, you lose your money, nobody will hire you, you become the main character on X.com for a few days, and nobody can hire you again. And we all live in this capitalist hellscape. I would love to put a ridiculous hat on and go protest the ICE facility. I would love to do that. You saw the guys with the inflatable frog costumes and stuff like that, and the dancing things. I would love to do that, but I'm gonna lose my job if I do that. If I get in trouble, if I get arrested for a day, I might lose my job if I don't show up on time. And that is the capitalist hellscape that's keeping the status quo of right-wing talking points going.
I mean,
I think
even with some jobs, like whether or not even you missed a day, if just them hearing you got arrested could ruin your life or your reputation.
Yeah, if you got arrested at a protest, you might lose your job.
Yeah, you're
they
an
won't
Antifa
accept
terrorist. They can't
exactly
be employing you.
Donald Trump called you an Antifa terrorist, and look at these thousands of we got your photo 1,000 times on Twitter or X.com, and you're an Antifa terrorist. You cannot be here any longer, and so that prevents most people from protesting. That prevents most people from trying to change the system, is that they will lose everything that they have. So yeah, we need to move people to the left as best we can, is what I'm going to suggest. I consider myself a leftist, and I try to get people to see that the Dems are not a left-leaning organization. The ratchet effect is real. And currently, that's what we have to deal with. Moving to the left means a loss of money.
Yeah.
Moving to the left means you are closer to anti-capitalism. And if you're close to anti-capitalism, no one wants to sponsor you. Mm-hmm. No business wants to give you money if you're going to say anti-business talking points. The DNC needs money, so they don't move left.
Yeah.
And they talk left here and there. They'll talk about how everybody should have the rights and stuff like that. But their actions generally are centrist. And they're trying their damnedest to stand still. Do not move left. Do not move right. The Democrats think we're at the end of history. There will be no new stuff to deal with. Just maintain current altitude and never deviate.
Yeah.
Status quo to the extreme.
And they really think that they hold the center when the center is just being pushed gradually to the right every year. I mean, even we went from, in 2 presidential elections, we went from talking about Medicare for all, to $20,000 business loans for every small business that gets started under my new administration. That is such a shift to like neoliberalism, even within the neoliberal party. I completely agree with that complaint. So
$6,000 tax cut if you apply for it for new home buyers.
Or
how is that exciting?
I mean,
who's
like
excited by
solar green energy rebates? It's like, this is great for middle class people who can afford to buy it in the first place. You know, I get subsidized from a solar farm. You know, why aren't we starting more solar farms where people are given plots? Poor people who can't have it on their houses. I'm gonna go on a forever rant with that. This is Waldo. Waldo is a political analyst on YouTube, a fellow political analyst. And here, do your thing.
Oh, hi. How you doing? Yes. My name is Waldo, and I'm here to feel the politics with you. I stream Wednesday nights and Saturday mornings. If you go to YouTube, you look up Waldo and politics, you'll find me.